Alright, we have a new chapter of One Piece. This one is called Queen's Gamble, which sounds like it could be an actual chess terminology. There's the Queen's Gambit, which is where you make a play involving the sacrifice of your queen for some great tempo advantage or kind of a roundabout material reward. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like badass chess strat. Anyways, this of course is referring to the third in command of Kaido's army, who just got himself totally wrecked by tangoing with Big Mom, who of course is on a whole other tier from him, who grabbed him by the neck, Bowser throwed him, suplexed him, did all sorts of other stuff. So, whoa! I didn't even think of this! Dude, I didn't even think of this! Oh, I should have remembered this. This is like such a cool scene. Or even if this scene isn't super notable, all sorts of scenes around this scene are just so badass. Where Raleigh goes in, he knows about the slave collars, he knows about all of this kind of plot weight put behind them. This is just how they work. And yet, with complete confidence, he just rips it off and throws it away. And Luffy did the same thing. He did the same thing. I just did the same thing I saw Raleigh do back then. I was so desperate I don't remember how I did it. Right. And, what's his face here, the old mafioso man? So there's some machinery going on outside. It's just so dang hot. I want to leave my window open anyways. Hopefully you can hear me over this. So, he's putting it all on the line. He recognized some sort of power in Luffy. The power you just exhibited is already beyond any application of Ryo I can teach you. And that must be what they call Haki in Wano. Which means you must be able to stop her. Deflect that monstrously powerful fist and save both our lives. Okay, so this is kind of cool too, because it feels very sumo-esque. And this was another early application of Haki we saw was in Vegapunk's bodyguard, kind of the special forces of the Navy. Sentomaru sumo strikes being able to hurt Luffy way back in Sabondi. And here Luffy, again, kind of a full circle moment, executing his own sort of sumo block. He's going to stop the blow. That's impossible. Is he crazy? Rather than clenching up, let the Haki flow into my hands. Nope, he can do it. Okay, and they go flying. It was a massive failure. They go absolutely flying. I really didn't see that coming. I really didn't. But that's just perfect. That's just these little subversions. I just love One Piece for. And even though, this fight is going to continue probably, and maybe by the end he learns, I think this comedic moment is just fantastic. They're both sticking out of the wall. Oh, that's so great. It didn't work. Don't die on me. Did Carter 3. So, I guess, they would have, super died had he not blocked. All I can teach you of Ryo, what you call Haki, is that which covers the outside. It's like defense like invisible armor. Defensive use to great effect. But one level beyond that, the Haki wield can penetrate the enemy's interior and destroy them from the inside, thus making it much more powerful. Interesting. So this sort of speaks to what we've seen a lot of as well, which is kind of the infusion of Haki within weapons. And this is something we've only really learned about sort of secondhand. Zoro is doing it, and the arrows fired by the Amazons, they were using it. But Luffy hasn't figured out how to use a weapon yet. His species hasn't evolved to that level. Every time he tries, he has hurt himself badly. So it's like not something he's really focused on, this extension of Haki outside of yourself. But it looks like if you just do it on your punches as well, and then maybe this has something to do with the awakening of devil fruits as well. Like this sort of infusion of Haki and also your devil fruit powers causing, the terrain and stuff to morph and fall under your powers, like we saw Doflamingo doing. All of these things I feel are kind of vaguely associated in my mind, and I feel like even without sort of an explicit confirmation, none of this really surprises me. Like, we're moving through kind of these same concepts. So I think that's kind of cool. I think this really shows, even if Oda doesn't have necessarily a master plan for all of these powers that he figured out in Chapter 1, that he finds opportunities for these sorts of echoes and stuff. Steel collars were destroyed from the inside by your haki. So that's the key. Had he just ripped them off, they would have easily exploded, because the damage would have gone from the outside in. The firing mechanism would be the last to explode, and therefore it would have primed and fired and everything, and then GG. But because he infused haki into it, because he just blew it up from the inside. Okay, so Big Mom fires another punch. They dive out of the way. It looks like he passed out, but I think he just was tired of talking. All right, meanwhile, in the ironworks area of the Udon labor camp, the various guards and stuff can't figure out, why is it we can't contact the main area anymore. The boss snail vanished, of course. We know Raizo did that. And I like that they introduce, well, I don't know, maybe we'll see more of him. But there's this mysterious prisoner here that certainly looks pretty cool. And there's like one panel of looking like he's going to do something cool in this scene, but no. Big Mom just smashes open the gate. Smash the gates to the ironwork. That's where the smelter is. It's all out pandemonium. So we can't stop it. There's no way the rest of us can do a thing. It's Kaido's turf. That hag won't get away with this. I have a plan, but we only get one chance. Oh, so this is the titular Queen's gamble. What is Queen's plan? Almost like a wild boar. Straight through Udon and make her way back around to us. Okay. So we see here, this is how the prison is laid out. There's the central kind of command towers and then 5 major labor camps. Big Mom is just smashing through them one by one in her chase for Luffy. Queen gambles eventually they'll come back around, so we'll be able to set something up. And I think it has something to do with the fact that the smelter is here. They're going to try to trick her into smashing into the iron smelter, covering herself with liquid hot iron. I mean, if it was anyone but Big Mom, you would think that's a GG. But I kind of feel like Big Mom's just like, this is whatever. I have liquid metal coating now. You assholes thought my punches were strong before? Blam, blam. I'm Akinino too. Blam. I don't know. All right, let's see. Queen has morphed back into his Brachiosaurus form. Okay. Okay. So, they bait her with the Oshiruko. It's empty again, of course. But it gets her right in position. Then Queen, jumping off the top of the labor camp, does some sort of headbutt. It's just a full-on headbutt. Okay, this is a far dumber plan. Why not, instead of putting yourself on there, you just put something really, really, really heavy? It doesn't have to be your own body. But who knows? I mean, I guess he's using like some sort of attack here as well. It's not just that he fell on her, but he accelerated himself towards her. All right, whatever. So, Queen, a powerful head-on-head attack. Will it do anything to the indomitable Big Mom? I genuinely don't know. The way they kind of set it up, and the way that it kind of makes sense that Big Mom is out of commission for a little while, just for the sake of there being any plot left and not just Big Mom destroys all of Wano. I feel like this might knock her out. Maybe when she comes back to, she'll have undone her amnesia, and she'll remember, her life before Wano. Okay. Ooh. So it's not even that she passes out and then she comes back to it and remembers. She just remembers right away. Fell into the sea, got separated from the rest, some dingy little village, for everything now. Wait, So before, okay, so she passes out. I thought something like this would happen, but now they know as soon as she wakes up, she'll know everything. So I think they're gonna try to like imprison her, you know, ship her off to Onishima Island or whatever they call it. Which is a good plan, but it means that eventually, probably in the climax of this arc, we're gonna have a rampaging, totally cognizant Big Mom on our hands as well. Because, yeah, before it's clear that she was kind of just messing around, too. She wasn't using her devil fruit powers at all. She wasn't using her insane summons. Of course, she lost Thor, but she still has Napoleon and Prometheus at the ready, I'm pretty sure. Because she didn't know who she was. She didn't even understand that she was supposed to be this powerful. Yeah, so Queen getting freaked out here. Totally reasonable. But saved by the snooze, just as so many other fights in One Piece have been resolved. Looking like a Nisekoi confession up in here. Please let me know if you got that joke. Alright, get out some 100% pure Steve versus concept of change. Wrap it around her 100 times and give her 100 wild animal sedatives. The monster wakes up, we're all dead. Every second is precious. Yeah, there you go. Onigashima, double maximum security protocol. Down with emergency gates, throw all the prisoners and souls, get this place in order. Nice. Okay, I like that Queen actually has kind of a moment to shine here. Sure, he's panicking. Sure, this is all very silly. But you can tell why he's like a commander of Kaido's army. Like, you can see here that he actually knows what he's doing. And it's not just all silly. Okay, I'm worried about one man in particular. The Kappa, perhaps? Kappa? Okay. So they have Big Mom chained down 500 times. They head out to Onigashima. So not only has the Big Mom situation resolved itself, but Queen is no longer on in the Udon labor camp either. So this is going to be interesting. I really like Queen's ship. Again, Oda, unmatched in this regard. That tiny little details, like the fact that Queen has his own ship, you know, it's not overlooked. In a situation like this, of course, you have to show it. And then it's not something generic either. It's not, you know, just whatever. But it's something that seems very befitting of its personality, that has this awesome Brachiosaurus mass. Look at the waves, too. Sorry, just the waves in Wano. The way they look like old school Hokusai prints, you know, like the Great Wave and such. It's just wonderful. But yeah, just Oda, the fact that he really sat down and thought about what would Queen's ship look like. It'll probably not appear in any more than just these two panels. And yet he gave it all that thought. He gave it all that love. Oh, all right. Anyways, meanwhile, they left Momo and the kid outside of the prison for their own safety. They see the gate is closing, the prison going into lockdown. They're like, they just run in, I guess. To fight all I want. Be quite as excited as a Big Mom and Balloon, man. Ooh, he's still free. I've always been free. And now this place is mine. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Because Luffy has been in prison now for over the majority of this arc. And when he first got himself in prison, of course, by picking a fight with Kaido just immediately, it's awesome, it was not seen by anyone at all as a good thing. And for a while, he was quite legitimately pretty stuck in prison. But he's about to turn this into a huge resource. Because it's not just him in there. We've seen all sorts of prisoners hinted at. There's the Kappa. There's that guy that we saw for 2 panels. I was like, what's up with this guy? Why did they just show 2 panels to hype him up? You know, this weird-looking samurai guy here. I presume he's a samurai, because he's got the thing in his mouth. There's probably all sorts of forces they can get on their side, now that Luffy is... Oh, and Killer and Kid, too. Killer and Kid are still in here. They need to be revolutionized. They need to be brought on the side of justice. So yeah, a major power resource is opening them up, is opening itself up to them. Now that Luffy is going to be the prison boss. Okay, fantastic chapter. Lots of exciting things happening. This kind of new conceptualization of Haki is quite interesting, and as I said, sort of blends its way into a lot of other things I kind of have noticed about Haki throughout the series. So that's cool. I love that we had that flashback to when Raleigh ripped off the collar, because I'd totally forgotten about that parallel. That's so cool. So yeah, let's look forward to next week. So many things can happen. There's so much left to do in this arc. It's fantastic. Okay, that's all. Bye-bye.